Alright, yo, what's going on, gang? I'm gonna go ahead and break down this trade setup that I just called out for you guys. If you guys did see the YouTube video that I posted the other night, you guys would know that I wanted to take longs above this weekly level of support. And why do I want to take longs above that weekly level of support is because if you look from a top-down analysis, you guys can see that price right now is also respecting this trend line right here. We have our first tap, we have our second tap, we have our third tap, and every single time that price taps that general area, we typically tend to fly straight back up, as you guys can see. We literally tapped the area and literally just flew how many pips? About 270 pips. We tapped the area and we fly all the way up about another 200 pips. Tap the area, fly another 200 pips. So what am I expecting right now is for price to just continue on after that fly. We're making the bottom wick right now on our daily level, and notice how we have no top wick at all. If you look back at previous history, what do we have on every single candlestick? We have a wick to the top side and we have a wick to the bottom side. So what is the probability that price is just making the wick right now to the bottom side before we make the continuation back up? Very likely, right? So now let's go in onto the lower time frames and let's build up the confluence as to why I took this entry right now. So looking into our 4-hour time frame, we have a bullish engulfing candlestick right now at a level of support. And notice how we did close above these highs right here. And we also closed above this general structural area right here, guys. Keep in mind, these levels are zones. We are above the zone right now. I wouldn't say price would be invalid until obviously we hit our stops, right? So looking into the lower time frames right now, the biggest confluence that I took as to why I took this entry when I did was this candlestick right here. Our 1-hour candlestick closed bullish, engulfing, and not only that, but we did above this break-in structural retest point. Notice how this level was a level of resistance, now acting as some sort of support. If I were to drop my Fibonacci tool, notice how we also retrace all the way back to our golden zone, which is in between our 50% and our 38%, and price literally just flies straight beyond that point. And not only that, but it makes this bullish engulfing. Yes, we are in a little bit of drawdown right now, and as you guys can see, let me show you guys my live trading account that I'm trading on right now, because I don't trade any demo at all. Let me just make sure I hide out the account number. But as you guys can see, we have a live account. We're in drawdown about almost $2,000. I'm risking about $4,000, $5,000 on this trade setup to make about $20,000. So we're just going to see where price goes. But as you guys can see, we have a live trading account. And yeah, so looking into this breakdown, like I said, we have our first confluence as a break and retest point. Our second confluence is our golden zone fib rejections. Our third confluence is a 1-hour bullish engulfing. And our fourth confluence, as you guys know, I like to trade off of 4 confluences minimum, is we traded and closed above our 8 SMA. And we are still respecting our 8 SMA. Notice how our previous 30-minute candlestick literally wicked to the bottom side, respected it, and closed above that general area, right? So literally all I'm expecting right now is for price to just obviously do its thing right now, get its little wickage to the bottom side. And notice how our 30-minute has literally no wicks to the top side at all. We are basically just filling in the gap, filling in the missing price to the bottom side before we literally fly, or at least I'm expecting a flyby. So I'll update you guys. We'll come back to the charts whenever price makes a direction or picks a direction, whether we go to stop loss, whether we go to take profit 1, we'll see. But I'll be right back. Alright, yo, what's good, everybody? I'm following up on the following morning. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I literally just woke up, and looking at the trades right now, we are currently just about $12,000 in profit. As you guys can see, I'm still holding the trade setup, and this is a live account. And if you guys can do the math, that's about 12,000. I would scroll it down more, but I don't like people knowing how much I'm trading with as in account balance size, but just know that's only just a certain percentage of my entire account. So anyways, a little bit of a in-trade analysis right now with GJ. We did get completely wicked in, and we are starting to show some sort of a break in structure on these lower time frames. As you can tell, we're constantly making these new lower high or higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, so on and so forth after we break out of this. And then price came back up over here and made the new higher high. But what is price doing now? I'm expecting price to now continue and start making these new lower highs, lower lows, lower high, and then potentially bust all the way down here before we have the session overlap where it goes from Monday to Tuesday. So we'll see then before the 4 p.m. CST little overlap thing. But in terms of GJ, I'm definitely going to be holding this trade setup. I really like how it's going, especially once price can break below this general area of resistance. And if we can maintain below this general area of resistance, I expect price to next session literally just do something like this, give us a little bit of a bust, a retest, and then a continuation to potentially all the way down to this level of 153. So that'd be a very, very solid swing. Looking into the 4-hour, if this 4-hour can close somewhere below this 8 SMA, that'd be absolutely amazing. But as of now, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with GJ. The daily candlesticks look amazing. All you see is just straight rejections to the top side. If it can ideally, like I said, close below this black line, we get something amongst these lines like this, and if you see, it's a very strong level of support. So anything above that, it's not going to be good. I'd probably want to consider closing the trade, just because of the fact that, like I said, if you look at this right here, it is a very strong level of support that I do not want to be trying to go against. So any closes above this general area, I will be closing my GJ trade. Any closes below, I will continue to hold the trade setup. And now with that being broken down, let's go ahead and break down gold on where it's at right now. If gold can close bullish how it is right now and above this weekly level, I'm definitely going to continue holding throughout the week, just because of the fact that if we do close bullish, I would expect to have a bullish week. Looking into the 4-hour candlestick, it closed all the way up here after we broke out of this consolidation range. Gold really didn't start moving until very early New York session, so I didn't want to sleep through basically drawdown. Or I mean, not sleep. I didn't want to basically just watch my trade be in drawdown throughout the entire time, because that just would have been annoying. I probably would have taken out a little bit out of my trade. I would have taken out a little bit at TP1, but it's a good thing I fell asleep and obviously let the trade do its thing. You just got to trust your trade. So I fell asleep fairly easily. But yeah, that's the entire gold breakdown right now. We did smash TP1, we did smash TP2, and as you guys know, I call out any and all trades that I take within my Learn and Earn group, and I also drop the breakdowns as to why I take it. You guys can see gold long breakdown, which is this long right here, and then we have the GJ short, which is the wick and entry. You can see my GJ sell limit, and then this is the weekly or the monthly results for January right here. We had a 25% gain, which is absolutely fucking insane. So if you guys want to join in and obviously get into a group where you don't just get signals, but you actually learn why you're taking the signals, this is going to be definitely the place for you. You guys can reach out to me, ask me questions. We can hop on one-on-ones, any of that stuff. We have the gold set up right here. And as you guys can see, we were in drawdown for a little bit, started flying, and GJ, this was our GJ getting hit, my position entry, me going back to sleep, because that's whenever I first woke up and saw where we were at, and then TP1, TP2 hit. So anyways, if you guys want to hop in on this, that's definitely the place to go. I'll leave the link down below in the description. Also, if you guys want to join my free Discord with the trading community with other traders, definitely check that out. But aside from that, I'll update you guys as soon as I close out of my trade, what I want to do with it, so on and so forth. All right, guys, just following up from the last clip, right now I'm currently out my position, and I closed out about $15,000. As you guys can see, I am out of the trade completely. It's a live account, and we closed up at about $15,000, and I got my stops trailed out. As you guys can see, we are in the red. Oh, we are in the red right here, which basically means if you look at the bottom left, my stops got hit within profits, and I'm going to show you guys why I moved my profits where I did, just to basically conclude the video and how I personally trail stops when it comes to obviously high momentum setups just like this one alone. So let's just go ahead and break down gold, just because of the fact that this is where we're at now. Looking into gold, you can see price is continuously moving from structure to structure, and I typically set my TPs at some sort of a minimal structural level on the lower time frames. And obviously, as you can tell, I have my major time frame levels, major levels marked up, my daily resistance, my weekly resistance, support, so on and so forth, right? Excuse me. TP2 and 3 are just minimal or minor levels of support and resistance, as you guys can see in previous history. Some sort of support, resistance, support, so on and so forth, right? Same thing with TP2, same thing with TP1. It's some sort of a minor support and resistance level. So I'm anticipating price to potentially either break past that level to continue on with the trend and hold it as some sort of a structural level of support, just like it did right here, or a potential reversal. And obviously that's not the case. Price literally came up here. I moved my stops to break even. Price gave me this candlestick rejection right here. I'd waited for the breakout of this consolidation range, and that's whenever I moved my stops again, all the way up to this level. Price continued to fly by, and I got this candlestick right here, which was basically showing me some sort of an indecision. So just to not risk all the profits that I made right here, and considering price was right here above the structural level, this is whenever I saw that there was some sort of a resistance right here, resistance, and then now acting as a support, I moved my stops from that level where it was at all the way up to somewhere around 1801, because if price were to continue down, I didn't want to risk not only just losing a little bit of profit, well, not even a little bit, just because with the gold it is extremely volatile, but at the same time I was already content with the profits that I had made, and me getting stopped out at that specific structural level that I had set, I was perfectly fine with. And I made about a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio right around the general area. I know I closed out at 1801. So that is my entire breakdown on gold. I'm definitely going to be looking for more longs for tonight if this structural level of resistance holds as some sort of a support. I definitely want to continue on with the bullish run and target all the way up to my daily, target to these highs right here. If price were to break above this daily level, all I'm looking for is a break, retest, and then continuation up to my next weekly level. I always take my trades from level to level, but that's the entire gold breakdown right now. Let's just go ahead and talk about GJ and how I trailed my stops on GJ. GJ was just a little bit different. I personally did not like what price was doing just because of the fact that right now, looking into the lower time frames, we are in some sort of a bullish market, and price was just constantly doing some sort of a break and retest pattern. As you can see, price literally broke above the structural level of resistance, came back down, retested previous resistance, acting as a support, and then continued back up, came back down, give us a little bit of retracement of a higher low, continued back up, and now what is price doing? Coming back down, giving us a retest of previous previous resistance, acting as a support, and now it's continuing on. So I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive with where I put and trailed my stops on this. So after this 4-hour candlestick closed right here in this general zone, that is where I put my stop loss, just because of the fact that whenever I do trail stops on a swing, I typically like to go from 4-hour candle to 4-hour candle. And looking at this one, this is exactly where I place my stops, just because of the fact that the probability of price coming back up to my break-even point was very likely, considering my 4-hour time frame candlesticks would not close. Keep in mind, I was asleep where price was at down here. If I would have seen price close above this general area right here whenever I was awake, I would have closed out somewhere in this area, just because of the fact that it would have shown me some sort of a bullish momentum from that point on. And obviously I was asleep, but I still got stopped out in profit because my risk management. And like I said, I put my stops right there and still made about a 1% return off of this trade alone, or 1% risk, whatever I think I was risking 2% on this trade. So I made about 2% back on that trade alone. So now in terms of GJ, what I want to do is I definitely want to remain bearish anything under my 155, 200 level. But anything above this general zone right here, if price were to break above this structural level, I definitely want to wait for a retest and then a continuation back onto my weekly. But until then, I'm still bearish on GJ if we maintain below the structural level. So we're just going to go ahead and see what happens with price action tonight. We're going to see where it takes us. If we take a loss, we take a loss. We just react and adapt, just like if you guys watch Alex. We basically just react and adapt to the market. So anyways, with that being said, guys, hopefully you guys did get some value off of this video. Hopefully this breakdown did make sense. I can't even talk right now. I literally just woke up from a nap. But aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next one. If you guys want to see more content just like this one alone, be sure to subscribe, drop a like down below or not. That's completely up to you. I really don't care, but I will talk to you guys in the near future. Peace.